Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. My name is Bella Ralston. In behalf of Faber-Castell USA and Michael Stores, would like to welcome all of you to another fun class here. Okay, so would like to say hello to everybody first before we get started. I'd like to say hi to Lisa, our good friends from Florida. We have some great friends from New Jersey joining in. Hey, Georgiana. Hey, Tina. Oh my gosh, it's so hot here in Texas. It feels like 111 outside. Oh God, yeah, it's burning outside. Hey, Christy, how are you? Hi, Olga. Hello there. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Daisy. Hello, Cher. Hi, Emma. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here this afternoon. I have a small puppy in my office right now, and you can probably hear her whining. So I was just like checking in where my daughter is, and she's like a minute, and she's home, so she won't be bothering us very much. So today is all about the bullet journal. I have my A5 dot grid in here. I think she can smell them. She probably smell them. There we go. All right, so my husband's here now. Perfect. So today is all about bullet journal, and I have my A5 dot grid, and I hope you do too. Now, you don't have to have a dot grid. You can have it like a graph or like a plain paper, or a plain journal, whichever one that you have in there. That's going to work just fine. I have a pencil. I'm not sure if we're going to use it, but just in case. And then I have my favorite Faber-Castell supplies in here. Perfect. Dot grid is perfect. Okay, so I confession time, okay. I am not really a big fan of highlighters, but every time I use it, I'm like thinking to myself, why don't I use this more often? Because it's really fun. The way it works is like it has this, it's a translucent, formula, so that when you lay it down, it's very light. It's not as opaque, so it almost look like a watercolor. And so I have different colors in here from Faber-Castell. It's called the Textliner. I do have the pastel, and then I have the neon colors. It's like super fluorescent set from the black edition. So whichever you have in there, I mean, whichever from whichever brand is going to be okay. But I really love the highlighters because I'm going to have to switch my camera. Of course, we won't be able to see it. So we go. So I really love it because it's like a chiseled tip. Now, again, I'm really not a big fan, but every single time I use them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forget how fun it is to use. So it takes a little bit of getting used to because, I always angle it. So it's kind of like, see this angle right here? I always use it like this, kind of like that, so I can get like the width of the whole highlighter like that. And then if you want to use a thinner, then you switch it to kind of like this, and then you get this angle, like a more thin angle. And then if you want to really just use a very fine tip, then you want to focus on the very tip of the highlighter itself. But to really get that whole width of your highlighter, this is one of my favorite things to do. I kind of love kind of like creating like a rainbow like this, where it's like that. I'm just going to play with the color so we can kind of like also do our little bit warm up. So grab your supplies and your journal, and we're just going to play today. It's like a time for Zen where we can do something for us. And journaling and planning is one of those my favorite me time ever. So let's grab your highlighters and kind of like playing around with our highlighters today and see if we can get used to that chiseled tip. I want to know in the comments, are you the same as me? Are you a big fan of chiseled tips? There's other markers that has a chiseled tip as well. I know some people really love it because they can cover large area, large space, without having to kind of like go through over and over again. Because look at this, we already have like a extra width in there. So hi, Mariana, no problem, no problem. You can use that. Yeah, just keep using it. So I think the zebra mild liners will have like a much smaller chiseled tip than the Faber-Castell. So whichever one you have, it's going to be okay, actually. Hey, Mary, happy Wednesday. Thank you for being here. So this is sort of kind of like my staple. If you look at my if you look at my social media, you're going to see me always create this kind of like a wavy border. And it's a great workout exercise also for your hand to kind of like, have that muscle control in there. And then it's really a good way to practice that. I'm going to add one more color of blue over here. So this time I'm using all the pastel. So I want you to create just kind of like a wavy border, whichever side you want, to the left or to the right. It works, both of that. And then I'm also going to use, I have the grip fine pen from Faber-Castell. This is from the black edition. This is the 0.4, but whichever you have. I also kind of like pulled out my favorite markers. You guys know this already. We talked about how much I love the Fudenoske pen from Pit Artist Pen. I have both the Fudenoske medium and then the Fudenoske hard. The Fudenoske medium will just have a little bit more flex to the nib, and then the Fudenoske hard will be much more thinner, and then not as flexible as the medium. So I will have like a border, create that border on the side. So we'll just play around for now, and then we'll create a wave over here. So I'm going to show you just some examples how you can use your highlighters in your bullet journal. I know I personally love using stickers in my bullet journal. But for some of you who's not really a big fan of using stickers or any type of ephemera in their journals, and you like to use your art supplies, then this is really a fun way how to use your highlighters in there. So we're just going to create like 3, right? So we have a much longer border in here. And then here, I'm just choosing to create like 3 colors over there. So I'll wait on you guys. So I'm like deciding which color of the fine liner I'm going to use. There's like a black, there's also a blue, and then a pink. I think I'm going to choose the blue this time around. So after you've done your wavy border in there, I'm just going to add like little bitty tiny stars. Just like this. Now, to make this have a little bit more character, I would suggest kind of like playing around with the shape of your, I mean, not the shape, but the size of your stars. Kind of like make some like much larger, that, some are small. And then in addition to that is you want to play with the orientation of your stars too. Maybe some are like tilting to the left and maybe some are like tilting to the right. Hey, Emma, I'm using oh, yes, that's fine. Whichever highlighters you have, that's for sure. You can use that. And let's just have fun. Now, I know that the other brand, they do have like brush highlighters. Now they're going to be just slightly different the way I'm going to talk about, some of the techniques today, but it's just going to work just the same. I mean, if you're just here for the kind of like the idea, simple, easy bullet journal ideas that you can use, and whichever one you have is going to work. Now, I feel like I want to bring out the pink as well. So it's not just the blue. I'm going to bring out the pink, and instead of stars, I'm drawing some dots, like literally just like dots. But the same with the stars, you want to play around with the size of the stars as well. Kind of like some are like really, really itty bitty tiny, and then some are like small and large, medium, but not so big, because these are just going to be kind of like embellishment and fillers, just like that. Some for the ones that are really small, I'm literally just using the tip of the marker to create like dots, just like that. So it just adds some little bit characters. And as simple as that, that really does look good to me already. Now we can use just the same color, the blue or the pink. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like an outline for this wave that we've created over here. And then I'm going to go move over here, just like that. And then I'm going to make it like torn pieces of paper, but this is almost like a washi tape if you've played around with washi tape. So that's what kind of like I'm trying to copy there. So it's kind of like zigzag and all that. So to create that one, so let's see. I want you to see how I created that. So instead of like um, closing it in with a curved line, I did like a zigzag short strokes, you know, small V shapes like that to fill it in. Now you can, you know, add your title in here, whether you want to add like the date for today. You can make it where we're just gonna pretend I'm gonna use a monoscript. So using this pen, so I'm just gonna letter August, let's say 21, and then write it small 2024. So you can play around like that. So you can add your title, and then you can add your bullet list in here, whichever you want to add, you know, so maybe 3 in that color. And then one way that I really love using the highlighters are really filling out space, like a page so quick. And then also, this is the closest to a straight line I can get when I'm using a highlighter. So really, it's like the closest because I think it's because of the way the chiseled. So it's easier to kind of like create. I can pretend like I'm making a straight line, but I'm pretty sure that it's not straight, but it's the closest to straight that I can get. So we can just get here. So use that chiseled tip and then pull on so you're literally just kind of like pulling. So you have like a control over your highlighter, right? So I'm still using this. It's laying down in my kind of like ring finger. So I have better control, you know, and then I also kind of like play around with your highlighter with your grip. This is the best way to kind of like whichever marker you're using, you want to make sure that it's kind of like, you know, playing around with it, making yourself comfortable because you want to twist so you can use like a different angle of the of your highlighter. So I'm going to use a different color now. I'm going to use the purple. So choose your palette, okay? So you don't have to use these same colors that I have. Oh, that is definitely not straight. In my dreams. But like what I said, I didn't really claim that it's going to be straight. It's like the closest to straight that I can get. Lay, you already have it. I can't even draw straight. You are so crazy. Now, I like to do that, this style. And then I like to add my header on top of that. So kind of like, so let's say today. And for some reason, when I'm using like a highlighter, for some crazy reason, I always gravitate towards a fine tip pen, which I don't understand why, because I am always a brush tip, right? But for some reason, every time I'm using highlighters like this, maybe because kind of like when we're using the highlighters, it's broad, it's wider. So maybe that's why I kind of like want to um, partner it up with like a much cleaner, a mono line like this one. So you can easily like that. You don't even have to do the pink border around it. You just kind of like use your highlighters, you know, to really add your notes in there, or you want it to be closer than how I'm doing it. Kind of like maybe no space in between. So kind of like line after line after line and just do it like that. That's really cute. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that, Marie. Okay, so once we're done with this exercise, we're actually going to build our calendar for the month of August. And then for the month of October as well. I think this is the only bullet journal that we have for this month, but the month of October, we're gonna have some fun Halloween and also like fall layouts that you can use in your calendar. So I mean, you can keep it just like that, Where's my blue? Let's just use a blue in here. You know, you can line it up to close it in, but it's up to you if you want that. I mean, you know, not everybody likes to do this, creating like a border around it. But that's easy way to fill out a shape. Okay, so let's set up our monthly calendar. Now, the way I do this many different ways, okay? So we're just being very honest about our calendar here. Sometimes I kind of like want to create like a month overview where I just like have a small calendar, like a really small one where I can just see the dates and the days, you know, what day is that date? And then I'll have kind of like a list where my birthday, special occasions for that day. If you want to put in your bills in there, which is always not that the fun part, but you know, it's necessary to kind of like have it in there. Also, there's a layout where I have the whole page of just calendar, like a big box, because sometimes it's nice to see everything and kind of like in one spot. You have this overview of the whole layout in one page like this. It's really nice to have it like that too. So, I mean, I don't know how you like to set up your calendar, but those are one way. Now, it's easy when you can do it with an A5, then you have big size, right? But if you have like a smaller, maybe some people I know are using like a B6, which is kind of like a 5x7 size. And then there's an A6 size, which is really close to kind of like a 4x6. And then you have the pocket, which is much smaller than your regular A6. So, I mean, that's a good one too. But for this month of September, I think I want to have like an overview, like a really small calendar in here. Now we can make it two different ways. We can start with our title first. I really want to concentrate on using just 3-color palettes. So that's my one of my favorite things to do is choose a color palette and then go from there. So sometimes when, you know, idea is not coming, start with a color palette. Choose with your color palette first. And so with this one, since, you know, October is coming up, I thought it's like really fun just to kind of like whip out the purple and the pink and the orange in here. So those are the colors that I'm going to concentrate with today. All right. And then I want you to choose whichever one that you like, of course. Okay, so hold on. Mariana said I'm using my highlighters and my colored pencils. The theme for September is an 80s. Oh, perfect. Then you're going to love this fluorescent from Faber-Castell. You're really going to love it. Okay, so I was practicing this one. I'm just going to go back here just so I can practice with you. I want you to make an arch, like an upside down U with your highlighter with one stroke, okay? Just one stroke. Now, this is what's going to happen if we do that in one stroke. Here, I'm using the full width. I'm just going to do it again. So full width of that, and then I'm just going to angle it, and then it's going to do this. So that's how you're going to end up with this kind of like wonky on the right side. Now, rainbow is something that I really love adding in my bullet journal. Okay, so I'm like, how do I do that? So what we want to do is we want to do halfway and then another half. It may not be perfect. We're going to try it again. So I'm just going to do half, and I'm going to stay there where it almost feels like weird to keep moving. So, right, I stop in the middle, and then now I'm going to twist my highlighter to this way, and I'm going to go from the top, and then now pull it down. So now we have a much more equal width, right? So we were able to use the equal width of the highlighter. Now it again, and then I'll use the purple. So I'll go from down, arch it right in the middle, twist my highlighter like this way so I can use the angled position one like this, and then go curve it all the way and then bring it down. So you have this one. Now, it never happens for me when I'm in a hurry. So you want to make sure, be mindful of the, you know, your speed when you're doing this. Maybe it's not a good idea to just kind of like speed it up. Just take your time, go slow. But I can also understand it because sometimes I feel like the more I go slow, the more I make mistake and it gets really frustrating. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm already taking my time and trying to be careful, but it's not working out for me. I know, Mary, it really, really is so fun. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna try it now. One again. Go, 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 go all the way. Angle it, stop. I'm gonna twist my highlighter. So it's like angled like this. And then from the middle, I'm gonna go scoop it and then bring it down. Aha! We got it. I do it again. Because this is my header for the September calendar. Ah, see, I told you, the more I kind of like go slow, the more it mess up. Now we're just gonna curve it up and bring it down one more time before I do it in the final page. Although the final page is really just going to be my example page anyways. But I still want to make it really nice. There we go. Kind of like that. Close to. All right. I feel like when it was wider, it was easier to do it because look at this one. When it was like much smaller, it was much harder to do that. I feel like it's more constrained. I feel like I can really curve when it was a bit wider. So just be mindful of that one too. So maybe it'll be helpful. Maybe you're making it a little too small. So we're struggling. We're all struggling in here. All right. So I'm going to go in here so I can make my header. Now I'm going to make 3 colors. I think I'm going to start with the orange, pink, and then the purple. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go. I already feel like this is messed up already. I already feel like I am not in the middle. And we're just going to pretend like it's in the middle. No one is going to judge this but me and the lurking eyes on the internet. And we're just going to bring it down. But we don't care about those lurking eyes. They can judge all they want. Right, and then I'll go up. Maybe I'm like, because I have like heavy hand pressure. I'm sure by now you guys know that because you hear me say that a lot. Maybe I'm like trying to control it so much and I'm not letting the pen itself kind of like dictate the whole width. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like talking nonsense here, but I almost feel like there's something in what I'm saying. And it's not in the middle. We are not in the middle. We're just going to pretend like it's in the middle. It definitely isn't. You know what? I'm just going to do it again. And this time I'm going to make it better. Oh, orange. Start with the orange. That's why it's always nice to kind of like start with a pencil. And I knew I was going to need my pencil. No matter what I did, I'm still not in the middle. It's probably just my eyes. I'm always like leaning to the left. And this happens too when I'm like trying to do a lettering. And it's like, it's always so far to the right that I don't have any more space left. Be okay with that. All right, and then I'm gonna have to pull up our calendar for the month of September. It is my birth month. Do I have any Libra in here? Any fellow Librans? All right. Look, I just keep making like that. October. Hey, Emma. I tried stopping in the middle, flipping the journal upside down. There we go. That's so smart, Mary. That's so smart. Perfect. Yeah, because sometimes, different orientation, like with me, definitely feels more natural to kind of like go down instead of like go up. So this was a bit of a struggle, like the going up part to me. So we're all different, all different in that case. I'm gonna grab a light blue because I want to create like a small, like mini tiny clouds in here. I feel like, look, it's not in the middle. Huh? I'm just gonna stop right there. Just gonna stop. And I'm going to add like little mini clouds around my rainbow. And I'm just using the very tip of the highlighter so I can create like smaller strokes. And this is what I love about the highlighters because see, you can really see how it overlays. So you can still see the underneath layer, which is of course the orange. And that's like super fluorescent like that. And I love that. I mean, it's just a different look, Some people really don't prefer it, so that's why they love using kind of like paint pens, so it's really opaque. But to me, it just really gives just a different vibe to it. And then I'm going to use my fine tip pen and I'm going to draw like little tiny stars. It doesn't make sense to have stars in the rainbow, of course, but you know what? I like it. It's cute. We're going to stick with what is cute. And again, play around with the star. Make sure that like some are small, some are like larger, and then spread it around the rainbow as well to kind of like give it enough space in between and all that. And I'll add a little bit there. And I have a tendency to overdo things. I'm just going to stop right there. Maybe add just one here. Just like that. Now, depending on the paper that you're using, your bullet journal, sometimes some paper absorbs too fast. Sometimes they're like super smooth and it really stays on top. The ink, it takes a little bit to dry. Now it's just all different. Right, now using the same color again, remember that wave that we've created? We're going to add over here to kind of like create a wave just like that. And that is going to be for our title, the month of September. So I'm just trying to find a way where I can go down here, go up here, go down, and then go up again and down. Thinking. And I'm thinking if I want to cover this whole space also. And this is where kind of like I'm really doing this with you. I didn't plan this. I had like a very simple layout in the sample photo that we have, but I figured kind of like let's do this together and really have fun. Now I want you to create like a flag. I want you to have fun with me here, okay? So kind of like, do you want it to kind of like cross over the whole thing or just kind of like around it? Maybe go up in here. I'm really having a hard time. I'm just going to go for it, okay? Go down, up, down, up. That's not going to look good. No, don't do that. I'm just going to make it straight. Let's try that. And then we really want to touch the rainbow also. Making mine like extra thicker. I don't know, the kind of like the more layer I add in there, the stroke keeps getting thicker. Ow. No. And then I'm going to go in with the pink. That's much better. But I want to add a bit more extra thickness to it. Like this around so much. Oh, we have Jackie is also celebrating her birthday in September. We have a Virgo friend. So, oh, September 23. Charlene, is that Libra already? I'm not sure. I'm on the 27th. September 27. All right, I like it. I like it like that. Now for my title, you know me, I gotta have it like brush lettered. But I'm gonna let it dry just a little bit, but I'm gonna use the Faber-Castell, the Pit Artist pen for that one. Scorpio power. Okay, no fighting here. We're all good. We're great signs. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more star over here to just kind of like, it kind of like brings the eye to the right just because I don't have balance because look, I'm like more to the left than to the right. Meh. So I'm just adding like a little bit of stars in here, just like that. It almost like giving, helping your eyes to redirect it to almost like leaning to the right, even though it's not. Right, so for the, so we have 7. We're gonna make, let's look at our calendar. What do we have in our calendar? Calendar. Okay, September. I don't know if you guys start your week on a Monday. I like mine to start on a Monday. Weekend is my like rest time. I love resting weekend. So it's like, I'm not doing anything on a Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday. So this month starts on Sunday. Ooh, that means if I start on the Monday, it's gonna, I'm gonna have like one dot over there because it starts on a Sunday. That's, I don't like it, but I like it when it starts on a Monday. Okay, fine. I'm gonna use the blue just so we can have like a different pop. I'm just gonna have like small boxes. I'm just gonna eyeball this. Okay, it's gonna be hard. I need 7. So what I'm gonna do, we have 1 in there, right? I'm gonna do another one on the end. So I know where it ends, where it starts and where it ends. So I can space out my days. So I need 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I cannot make it so big. So 2, 3, 4. Look, I'm gonna mess this up. 5, 6. I actually didn't. The Sunday is bigger, but it's okay. Good enough for me. All right. And then I am going to use, instead of like a box it, I'm going to make it circles. So it's going to be in between 3 dots down and, you know, so inside that 3, we're just going to put it in the middle dot. So this is the Sunday and we have until the 30th. So I go down here to this. Oh, look at my separation. Like the Monday is the smallest. All right, then I'll go down again. 1, 2. There's something about making your own calendar that's like you get lost in that moment. You know, that's when bullet journal really is it. That's what it does to me. It's like you get so lost in there. Okay, so my Sunday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna have 5 down. Actually, I'm gonna need 6. No, 5 only. 5 rows down. So that's 1 is that Sunday on top. So after this, I need 1 more. Yeah. 1 more down over here. I think. I think I'm doing so much. I'm just gonna count it. I'm gonna add my days. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, That sounds so fun. Gold over America tour. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, we have 30. 27, 28, 29, and 30. Just like that. Kind of feels weird when it starts on a Sunday. 27. After the month, actually on my birthday, I'm going to be in Austin, Tina. It's Simon Biles' tour. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so fun. And then I'm gonna start adding our days of the week, and I'm gonna write it small so that will fit inside the box. Monday, I'm gonna write it in just in print. So our title will really pop. Wednesday, you can use brush pens for your title. So you can practice your brush lettering in there. Saturday, and then Sunday. All right. And then I'm going to use the Fudenosuke medium, my favorite. All right, September. Can make it way over here because this is long. Just like that. And then this. Writing really slow. Take it one stroke at a time. Like that. And that's really one of the common mistake that, I see online when I see people are not lifting their markers when they're writing. That's one of the big mistake is that you have to make it like one stroke at a time. So it's not like a script, because you're drawing. So on August, I think we have 31st until August. Yeah. And then September, we only have 30. Okay. So here, if you have, if you want more things to add in here, kind of like your birthdays, but we have all this space over here. So we can really fill this space over here. So what I want is I want to bring down the same rainbow that we've created on top. I want to create like a border, a smaller rainbow. So we don't need to make it so perfect this time. We just want really the colors in there. And that was my mistake. Mistake number one. I should have started with a very small in your rainbow. Because look, I'm going to have a hard doing this now. So that's what I was wanting to say is that when you start your rainbow, you want to start with your smallest first and then go bigger. And I just did the total opposite and I did a mistake. So you want to start with your smallest one. So I'm going to start with my purple. Just going to add that. Start with my purple. Then play around with the orientation of the window. Some are like not window, the rainbow. Some are more like tilting to your left and some are like tilting to the right. And maybe some are like just straight up. Like that. Let's start with the innermost one. And then I'm just going to bring it all the way down here because I want to create the same border over here. So we can have same designs across our whole spread. We'll tie it up and then bring all the designs all together. All right. And I'll go with the pink to go do my second ray. Now for this one, I'm not being overly careful, really. I'm just using the tip of the marker to create like a smaller stroke, not so thick. Ay, I made this one so thick. Now these two colors are gonna go on top of one another. It's okay. That's something that I have really just let go of is perfection when it comes to bullet journal. That was the only thing that was stopping me before from creating like a bullet journal is because I was always kind of like so make things so difficult. When it's like not perfect, you just kind of like, oh, want to start all over again. So remember what I did with that rainbow on top. That's what I would usually do before. And I was like, keep kind of like tearing up pages when it was like almost this thin because I'm like, no, that's not good. So I always just like tear that page and then move on to the next one, kind of like redo things. It's like so bad. So try not to do that, please. Learn from me. I'm sharing all of that with you guys, because I think it's important to hear it also from someone who's been kind of like considered an artist, doing this for a living and all that. No, it's not perfect every time. It's like, and you have moments too. You're like, no, I don't really like this one. You have those moments where you're like never happy with anything. Okay, and then I'm going to use the blue that we use for like the clouds. What is the name of the journal? Oh, this is my journal from the Little Bits box. We have like a small stationery company and we have journal. It's a monthly kit full of stationaries that I design. So it's littlebitsbox.com. So the journal is part of the monthly kits that we have in there. So that's right. This was the July. All right. So using the light blue, I'm going to create like small, tiny clouds again, so we can have uniformity from the top design as well. Just going to add it there. I'm just really making this small. Gonna try and just fill that in. Go in the middle. The paper is so important to me. That's why our journals are like, it has a really, really nice paper because I'm a paper snob. So that's one thing that I was very careful about when trying to choose, um, manufacturers. So I want a paper that's so smooth. So if you guys um, really want to get into your lettering and your bullet journal, make sure you choose like a really nice paper that's smooth so it doesn't fray your markers so easily. Because after a while, especially if you're like me, you write really heavy, oh man, it's really going to fray your markers so quickly. I like that. Okay, and then you know what's next already. We're going to use that blue. Thank you, Lisa. You're the best. Thank you so much. All right, then we're going to add those stars again in between, like that. Yes, Lisa, they'll be shipping tomorrow. Okay, so we have this one. Then add there too. So you really want to have like a cohesive look around the spread, but it's not, I mean, it's really, you can do whatever you want, but to me, it's like, I really love having that cohesive look also all around. And then I'm going to use I think I'm going to do it the blue. Maybe I'll just add like a few dots in here. Now you have the option to add like little kawaii faces in your clouds if you want. But to me, it's too tiny. That might not be good. So I'm just going to use a tip of the marker to really create like very, very small, tiny dots. So this one is 0.4. So you get really small, tiny dots in here. So it's almost like it's not there, but it's there. It's crazy how it's like small, really tiny dots like that. Can you really see it? Yes, you can. Overall, you can. It's like it really does add something to it. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do, so we're going to create like a boxes in here for like special occasions, you know, birthdays, reminders, to-dos, and all that. Now, if you want to create like another border around here, we don't need to do the rainbow anymore, but we want to use the same palette. We want to use the same colors. So I'm just going to create like a zigzag almost like here. Either you can go from the left to the right or from the right to the left, whichever it is that's most comfortable. But I want to create like up, just like that. And then from here to this. Ah, I think it's better if I went from the top to go down. I feel like I could see it more. I really couldn't see from here. So this one is better when you're like pulling your highlighters and then you can really see everything. Yep, that was much, much better. I'm just going to bring it all the way down. I'll get that pink, fill that space over there. Really create a nice finish in there. I like that. Now we can do our separate boxes. Let that dry first. Now we can create like, if you want to start with boxes that really is straight, then you can start using a ruler. But we're not all about the ruler in here. We're just going to embrace this imperfection. I want to create like a really long area over here. So I think I'm going to make that into like a cloud, like a really overstretched cloud. So we're going to just create like a small C strokes to create that, almost like a really scallop thing. But I'm going to start with the outline first before we can fill it in. Now you don't have to fill it in the whole area, but I think it's going to be cute. Just to have that. Go down and go up. It's crazy how, you know, really everything in art is like really the basic shapes and like strokes. The more you do it, the more you're going to realize that you're just using the same strokes over and over. Some are angled, straight lines, curved lines, C strokes, S strokes, you know, little tiny loops. Now this one, like what I said, you don't have to fill in the shape, but I think it's part of the fun using the highlighters is that it's really easy to cover like a big area like this. Now, depending on your notebook and the paper that you're using, some highlighters will give you like a stroke where you've left it, you know, it's kind of like it doesn't blend as well as, you know, with some other papers, but I think it's just part of that look. And so don't get bothered by it because I know it used to bother me. That's why I've mentioned it. But now I'm like, you know what? It's part of the fun. Now I'm going to use the same grip fine pen, the color blue, and then I'm going to create like a dashed broken lines around this shape over here. And what I mean with that is this kind of like this. I'm gonna go zoom in just a little bit so you can see this one better. This one, and then here. So it's kind of like there's like a little broken in there so you can see the gap there. And then it just adds character to it. And then you're also kind of like not forcing to do one big stroke at a time, even though scallop really is not hard to do. But this is just one style that I really enjoyed ever since I started doing it. I'm like, I really like that. So I just kept doing and doing it. So even when kind of like, excuse me, even when like I'm doing my line art for my drawings, I have found myself keep doing this broken dashed lines like this. Maybe you can try it. Maybe you'll like it too. I mean, I know we're all different, but That's the reason why we do all of these together, so we can like share, gather ideas and inspiration. Let me try that. See if it fits, like that. I really like it. It's so cute. And then I'm going to use the same, and then I'm going to write in script. No, you know what? Change my mind. Libra. I'm going to use the Fudenosuke medium, and kind of like what I used with the September. And I'm going to make notes in here. N O T E S. Just like that. Have it. I'm going to use the same blue, and then now I'll start adding my little stars in here. So you have very cohesive page in here, and you have this palette, even though it's busy and you have a lot of things going on and happening, but having a limited palette like this really does help a lot to make things more cohesive and not so crazy busy, just like that. And then again, same technique. I'm just going to use a dot, the tip of the pen, to add those little tiny dots all around my rainbow. But that's really cute. Just like this. That's so cute. All right. Then, oops, sorry, wrong marker. So we can start adding our boxes in here. Now you can choose one solid color, or we can make kind of like almost like a checkered thing. So let's see. Maybe I'll do it with a pencil first, just so I can really. So I'm just going to add, this is just to help me with how big I want my box to be. And this might even be too big, but I don't know. Because I want to make like a checkered line inside this. But I'm going to use one color instead of two, because I've seen, a lot of people doing like two colors, and it gets super crazy busy. You can still get that checkered look even by just using one color, because again, remember the formula of the highlighters are like semi translucent, that it can like overlay on top of one another, and then it's going to create like a much sorry, I'm holding my breath, a much deeper color. Tell me I'm not the only one who does that. I'm gonna like, I cannot speak. I'm trying to draw a straight line here. The markers is the Fudenosuke. This is from Pit Artist Pen, the Pit Artist in FM. So this one, this is my favorite marker ever. So I wish there's like other colors, but it's only available in black. So I'm praying to the marker gods that Faber-Castell would come up with other colors of the Fudenosuke, and then I'll be really, 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 really happy. Okay. Okay. I'm just doing this slow so I can go straight as I can. Okay, and then I'm gonna go across. So now it's time for the horizontal after that vertical. Like that. See, when I'm not being careful, they're kind of like all over the place. So maybe I'll just close this in. I'll just add one more here. Just like that. I thought it was cute. Now you have the option to use another liner, maybe the blue, if you want to create like that border around it to also clean up those highlighters edges. So we can do that. I'll go over here just so I can cover up some of those where I lifted the highlighter. You can really see it. Then over here too. It'll just give you like a much cleaner look, and it's okay. I'm just gonna twist around my notebook, guys. I know I don't like doing this because I don't like getting you dizzy, but just like this. But that's so cute. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. It's so simple too, right, Emma? I mean, really, it's like very simple, but sometimes it's like one of those things I'm like, why didn't I thought of that? That looks good. That looks good. Now you can add another line here inside if you want to just kind of like add a little bit of contrast for your title, whether this is your to-do list or a reminder or maybe like a birthday box. So I'm just going to do that like a little flag, just like this. And if you want to make it like more opaque, then just kind of like add another layer on top of it. Maybe you need to wait until it dries before you do that, but I'm just going to try and see what it's going to give us. I like it. There you go. So it's much deeper value now. So you really have that contrast of your pink and your purple. So then you can start adding in your title. And then another thing that you can do for your with your highlighters also is instead of just kind of like filling up the whole space in there, add another title. And by doing that, if you have like a washi tape, this is a really good idea. I mean, I don't. If you have like a much smaller size, this one is a 15 millimeter. Now, if you have like a much smaller, you can do that, but I'm just going to put it in here. And what all we're doing is like we're masking this space right here, right? We're just masking that. And we're going to create like a negative space in the middle. We're going to lift up our washi tape later on. So it's such a good washi tape. It matches the, my goodness, it matches the colors too. So I'm going to use, I don't know if I'm going to use the orange. I think I'm going to stick with the purple this time. And then I'm going to make like a big title here, which is to do, right? So we're just going to go over there. Lay, my goodness. That. Oh, look at that. I don't have space. So I'm going to make my two smaller. I'm going to change the orientation of my highlighter. And then I'm going to make the D also big, as thick as the letter D. Just like that. And then I'm going to make the letter O again, like really thin. Again, if you want this to be more opaque, just kind of like go over that same stroke and all that. But we're going to keep it just like that. I'm not super thrilled with this, but you know what? I'm going to live. I am going to live. We're okay. Now for the inside, you can choose to have your orange in there, color it in if you want. Let's try that. Or you want to keep it blank and just plain white, just paper. You know, just different ways. See which one you like better, but just idea, just like that. And then you can choose to kind of like create like an outline for your title, but I'm just going to do like a, almost like a drop shadow, which is just everything is on the right side. Remember, we've learned this in our lettering. So every right of my letter, just like this. just to add character to it. And you can make it like broken dash line too if you want. Like that. And then you can start adding in, to do this month, you can add this month. Then you can start adding all your bullet list if you want to have lines for each of your to-dos. Feel free to do that. Kind of like this. Maybe I'll switch from like blue and pink just to have that really nice contrast. Like this. And see how fun the highlighters can be too. It's just different, than just using like a regular marker. It's just because of the chiseled tip, it really does give you like a more expressive stroke as long as you kind of like play around with the orientation of your highlighters. It'll give you like different result like that. Then you can choose like a blue to add just like a bullet list in there. But yeah, that's it. That is you can do reminders in there or maybe birthdays, and all that. But look how simple and fun that is. Actually, this is not simple. I thought we are going to create like a more simple, but I thought we were like extra today and we did so well. You guys did so well. Yeah, I like it. I like that so much. So we have our calendar of September over here to the left. If you need more space to your right, then you can just start adding in your birthdays over here, for sure. And then we have on the right side, we have all that, we have a border, we have the same border across down there to kind of like a more cohesive. But then again, like what I said, when we have like the same palette, it really does help a whole lot to make it more cohesive and like this. And this is without stickers. This is us just having fun using very basic drawings and shapes like this. But it turned out so cute. It's like having a washi tape at the bottom, it's just so much fun. So thank you again so much, everybody, for joining in. I had really fun this week, and we're going to have more classes. Next week, we have some really, really fun class. So I'm really excited about that one. And then, but as always, play around, play with your tools, spend some time with it, make lots of mistakes and explore and enjoy. So thank you all, everybody. And I hope to see you again next week, same time, same day, Wednesday, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. And on behalf of Faber-Castell USA, it is our pleasure providing you with some amazing classes and of course, amazing tools to use for your creative projects. And on behalf of Michael Stores, again, thank you. Stay creative and stay happy. See you next week. Bye-bye.